So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be talking about notorious female rapper Cardi B. And I believe that she has officially flopped. And this is more than just music for me. This is kind of comprehensive with her whole entire brand imagery as of the last year, if not 2 years. Cardi B's come up into music is actually very monumental. And some people may disagree, but I feel like she did defy a lot of the odds that were put against her. She came from being an exotic dancer, poverty, immigrant family, an unserious reality TV show, and really took her opportunity and became who she is now. She had a #1 album, which was Invasion of Privacy. She really had been a huge success story when it was all said and done. And that's in the music industry and even in her personal life. She's launched different brands such as her whip shots, which are alcohol-infused whipped cream. She's done collaborations with makeup companies, and she's been very visible ever since she became mainstream back in like 2017. But I think with Cardi B, I just feel like we've seen the best of what Cardi B had to offer, and I do believe she's now in her flop era. So I wanted to talk about some of her recent antics and kind of dive into where things took a turn. So I've broken this video down into 2 overall main talking points. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my first point is internet troll. Now, the reason I consider Cardi B an internet troll is because I feel like she's now known more for her internet trolling antics than anything else that she's been known for before. I don't really consider her a rapper at this point because yes, she has dropped 2 singles in the first half of 2024, but despite the buildup and the anticipation, those songs really didn't stick to the charts. And I even praised her for one of her songs and critiqued the other one, but it's now a few months later and we're not really talking about Cardi B in her musical climate. What we do see is Cardi B oftentimes going back and forth on the internet. And I feel like I use this person as an example a lot, and I have no hate towards him, but it's like Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy is known as this iconic rapper from 2007 up until he just did whatever he wanted to do. And then in 2018, he goes re-viral for his comments on The Breakfast Club about fellow rapper Drake. And now Soulja Boy comes back into the mainstream with this joke of him saying he's the first rapper to do a whole bunch of different things. And it worked for a while. I mean, he kind of proved that he was the first rapper to do a lot of different things. And because we all love Soulja Boy, we bought into it. But this example is more of a positive way of trolling the internet. Eventually, we did care a little bit less about him, reiterating him being the first to do this, that, and the third. And we don't speak that much about Soulja Boy as much. But at the very least, when he re-emerged back into the media in this way, it kind of became his new identity. Of course, we can never take away his iconic run in the early and mid 2000s, but we don't know him for music as much as we now know him for being on reality TV or him being on the internet trending for many different reasons. So Cardi B is in that era. We now know her for her internet antics and how much she seems to come off like this very bitter, angry, aggressive person who once had it all, but isn't the same famous icon that she was a few years ago. Recently, Cardi B got into it with fellow influencer and TikToker Paradise Paris. And I feel like this was the nail in the coffin for me when I realized what Cardi B's nomenclature in pop culture is now. So Paradise Paris makes a pretty valid critique of Cardi B and it ends up going viral. She says, "Why does Cardi B feel that she's above criticism? All of her peers are dropping albums and doing progressive things in their careers, and she sticks out like a sore thumb. No tours, no meet and greets, no merch, 1 album, featured singles, and viral moments. Is she a rapper or does she rant?" And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this is a very fair critique because although it may be blatantly harsh, it is very true. The question will forever be, why isn't Cardi B the success that she once was? And I feel like a lot of her fans have made a lot of excuses for her, saying that it's okay that she has 1 album and that Lauryn Hill had 1 album, which I feel like is a very disrespectful, unrelated, and very Gen Z thing to say. And I'm a part of Gen Z, but the things that are said in my generation, I just can't defend sometimes. To compare Cardi B to a Lauryn Hill, it's 2 different types of people, 2 different types of music, 2 different types of genres, and 2 different times in history. See, back then, social media and payola and marketing and gimmicks and collaborations and different digital methods that we have now that promote artists didn't exist. So for Lauryn Hill to put out a body of work that withstands the test of time is still ranked one of the best albums of all time across all genres, Cardi B just doesn't compare. And I will still give Cardi B her credit for her work on Invasion of Privacy. But we all know, as much as Cardi B might be a great entertainer and a great performer, the actual composition of her music is not just solely her work. So I don't think those comparisons are fair, and I get irritated when fans make that statement. But nonetheless, Cardi B was projected to have such a successful stable trajectory within pop culture altogether. And she just doesn't have that anymore. So to question that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like she's really a featured single artist now. All of her verses that she's put on other people's songs within the last few years have been pretty good. They've made the songs bigger or better, and I've actually enjoyed most of them. From her work on Tomorrow 2 with Glorilla to her verse on Put It On The Floor remix, it's all been pretty good. And I can say that. However, her individual work isn't there. And she recently just did a collaboration with Louisiana rapper Rob49, and I think it just goes to show that the hype and the interest and the diversity or anticipation for growth just doesn't exist with her. So I think Paradise Paris' critique was pretty valid. So because Cardi B, in my opinion, really can't take criticism, and I've said this time and time again, she's very easily triggered and very easily offended, and people be saying us cancers are sensitive. I'm telling you, it's not us. But she comes back and she says, "That's not what I said. F you and your three stomachs, B." And I feel like this is now the core of Cardi B. Maybe it's just unfair media focused, but I don't even follow her. I don't really look for her, but every single time I see her in the media, more times than not, it's something along the lines of controversy, clapping back at someone, and not being able to understand that not everyone's gonna like you, or there will be some type of harsh critique about you. And I hate to say it because it sounds like I'm just brushing off a bigger issue, but it truly does come with the territory. People come for my neck every day in these comments. People make up random untrue statements about things I've never said, or twist my words to make it seem like I hate everybody, and so many other things that actually do grind my gears. But we dare and we push on. So the two go back and forth a little bit more. Really don't want to read the whole thing, but Paris then drops this video and she read the hell out of Cardi B. Check this out.
Y'all may as well tag Cardi B because I'm finna give it to her like she thinks she give it up. And before y'all start, no, she came and found my tweet after all the tweets that I was tweeting to praise her and chose that one, and she should have stood on it. Now, don't delete nothing because I'm just now seeing it and I just woke up and it hit the blogs. Yeah, you caught red-handed. All that backbiting you thought you was going behind Joe Budden and clearing him for, you doing the same thing. Don't throw no rock and hide your hand, Miss Mamas. It ain't an etch-a-sketch bitch in the motherfucking world who could ever make me feel bad about my body. You done touched everything on you, and you still got so many insecurities because you can't keep your husband at home. You done paid for bitches to get beat up because they want to suck the same dick you sucking. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. It could be 4 stomachs, it could be 6 stomachs, it could be 7 stomachs. At the end of the day, you done sat there and paid for everything on you, and you still insecure. You still cannot keep yourself in the media selling sex, and the sex ain't going nowhere. It don't matter how much of a bad bitch you think you are with them hard ass titties. At the end of the day, what was said about you is correct. Your ass is sitting around trying to make sure you keep your family intact, and your ass is still over here cussing out fans, delusional fans, when you're getting passed up by every single body around you. You call yourself this badass rapper, and you in this terrible ass 360 deal with Atlantic, when you need to be sitting around worried about how you gonna make sure these tracks hit the fucking charts and stay, because even your peers are passing you up. It's no reason why Megan Thee Stallion is on tour right now, came out behind you, and you done did a #1 album, and your ass can't even put out a actual single that stays on the charts longer than 2 weeks. So yeah, what I said was correct, and if it hit a nerve, that's too motherfucking bad. Maybe you need to get in the booth, and maybe you need to figure out how to get some records that are actually gonna stay on the charts, and stop cussing out these fans who are kids that like you, acting like you so for your fans and y'all in a good relationship when you act real motherfucking homophobic. When you sat there and told them boys he was a fag, he was a sissy. You got bigger fish to fry, and it ain't me. So the next time you feel like you want to come for me, first of all, you better stand on what you said. You better stand on what you said, because I'm the bitch that's gonna give it to you. I don't give a fuck how black you want to pretend you are. I'm really that. Don't nobody look at me and question it. I don't care about your accomplishment, because next time you want to say something out your mouth, I'm gonna be right here to give it right back to you.
So then Paris follows up and said, "This is such a piss poor way of lacking accountability, because you could have addressed my initial tweet like this instead of trying to get a fake drag going body for body. You're nasty with a filthy moral standing, and you better pray you can survive the media lashings of this upcoming album." Cardi B comes back and says, "Y'all bees love to body shame bees that get surgery, but when we body shame y'all back, y'all the victim, crying." So then a Twitter user responds back to her saying, "You were the one who was body shaming first though. Like quite literally, you are the one that brought up how someone's body looks as a response to that person ultimately asking, why do you feel that you are above criticism? Not even trying to argue. That's literally what happened. So then Cardi B puts out a pretty much open statement to her fans, and she says, I want to say this to Barty Gang or anybody who's just a fan of my music or even my craziness. I have my good days and my bad days, but you know what? Whatever it's good or bad, I couldn't be happier with the obvious anticipation for my album. Sometimes I get a little aggressive because y'all know I don't like to be told what to do, but I promise you it's coming this year. Thank you for all the love and anticipation and always holding me down. I love y'all. And then she finally says, talking about hard titties, it never gave hard, they always in a mouth. B, you shaped like a gummy bear, you Flintstone vitamin shaped B. You garden tools love surgery shaming bees. I'd rather die on the table than look like you. And scene. Now, just to put my overall thoughts on this, her fatphobia is very crazy, or should I say, in addition to fatphobia, I feel like her tendency to correlate someone's looks and appearance to them being beneath her is very rampant. And I feel like a lot of female rappers that have gotten work done often resort to this, as if a BBL is exclusive. The average girl, the average Amazon worker, the average nurse, the average school teacher, the average bartender has a BBL these days. It's not exclusive. It doesn't have proximity to affluence or wealth. It's not something that only exists for people in certain class. If I wanted to get a BBL tomorrow, I can afford to get one. And I think Cardi trying to speak up or big up the body parts that she's purchased to appease this misogynistic world that we live in, which is against all types of women, and then putting down a woman that is natural is just completely asinine. No pun intended. I say all that to say this is just one of many examples of her internet trolling. This right here is the crux of Cardi B's social media and overall brand presence. You would think that there's nobody on her team or that she's a lower list celebrity, but essentially she is an A-lister. She's known internationally, and it's unfortunate, but I think the real issue is that she's frustrated with her placement in pop culture, but she doesn't really possess the tenacity to reclaim what she was building. And it's hard to pinpoint what exactly went left because it could be a multitude of things, but I feel like there's many reasons. Number one, she never delivered a sophomore album, so the anticipation and hype has kind of fizzled out. Number two, she's problematic and says problematic things, oftentimes things from her past and things in the now. Number three, she's been heavily involved in different aspects of entertainment, whether it's acting, selling a product, being a brand ambassador. She's diverse, and it's not even a bad thing, but if you've ever heard the saying, a jack of all trades but a master to none, essentially that means that you are someone who is multi-talented and you have your hands in a lot of different things, but because you have your hands in a lot of different things, you haven't mastered individual talents that you have. You're good at them, or maybe you're successful or do well, but you're not a staple gold medalist in anything. And then number four, the controversy with her relationship to her husband plays a role in a lot of this. I feel like it's kind of done her bad because there's been a lot of publicity from Cardi B about it, but also public discourse. There was even a whole legal case with her paying people to beat up the two girls that were messing around with her husband, and that's just always a bad look. And then number five, back to the music, nothing that she's put out has really stuck and kept her afloat for a very long time. And that really is the issue because more than anything, she is known as a musician, a rapper, a hip-hop artist before anything else, which brings me to my next and final point. So my second and final point is we are never getting this album. Amongst her Twitter back and forth with Paradise Paris, Cardi B states the following, and I will read it again. She says, I want to say this to Barty Gang or anybody who's just a fan of my music or even my craziness. I have my good days and my bad days, but you know what? Whether it's good or bad, I couldn't be happier with the obvious anticipation for my album. Sometimes I get a little aggressive because y'all know I don't like to be told what to do, but I promise you it's coming this year. Thank you all for the love and anticipation and always holding me down. I love y'all. So she's mentioning that the album is coming, but let's not forget that in one of her previous social media trolling rants, she went off on her fans saying that there was no album coming this year. There was a tweet that she made after a fan basically told Cardi that she didn't have to respond to fans and that her transparency with her fans is underappreciated, which I think is crazy because I think the fans do appreciate transparency. When it comes to people coming at her, she's nasty. But Cardi B responded to that and said, exactly, and I tell myself this all the time, and I hate that I fall back and start interacting again and it bites me in the tail. Anyway, no album this year. I don't care. I'm relaxing, dropping these features I already committed to and traveling and enjoying my summer. And I just feel like this is just a chicken running with their head chopped off, going every which way and not knowing the direction of what's really going on. First, we were anticipating an album, then we weren't. Now we're anticipating an album, and the next thing you know, we're not going to. And then probably about the time of fall or pre-winter comes, there will be an album. But who knows at this point? And people can come with every conspiracy conspiracy theory in the book. People can give her excuses, but to not put out an album after 6 years and you had a #1 album, you've teased the album several times, then you pulled back. It's not like she didn't have really good songs afterwards either. Like with her song WAP and some of her other records, for her to not capitalize off of that moment is literally the cherry on top of the flop. No bops, so now everything stops. And I'm not even trying to rhyme, but it is what it is. And it's not like I just want to sit here and talk down on Cardi B, because as a female rap fan, a music listener, I am looking forward to hearing a new project from her. But it's kind of doubling back to what Paradise Paris said. A lot of her peers are either passing her up or at the very least are in the conversation. Megan Thee Stallion just dropped a new album. There's a song on there and it's really hitting the charts. JT just dropped a new project and I'm going to be reviewing that soon. Even Nicki Minaj dropped her album back in December, did a tour, and is extending her tour promotion for that album. And Cardi B is kind of just waiting in the water. And it's unfortunate, but I think the reality is Cardi B just did not live up to her hype. She's almost like if this was the NFL, she was a #1 draft pick, or at least just a first-round draft pick. There was a lot of stock invested in her to perform well and to get a Super Bowl. And she won a Super Bowl, but every year since that win, she's made it to the playoffs, but hasn't gotten that championship ring again. And now we're in the conversation of her not even winning her divisional rounds. It's kind of sad to see, but I feel like until Cardi B decides to hone back in on the type of work ethic and focus that she should have for her career, it is inevitable that this is her reality and that she definitely has flopped. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go stream all of my music. It is out on all platforms. We have a Amampiano and AfroBeats dropping real soon. Give it about a week or two and we'll have some previews for y'all to check it out and give me feedback. Also, I just dropped a new vlog. I went to Toronto for a Nigerian Igbo convention. So if you're interested in a little bit more of me or my personal life, please head over to my vlog channel. The link is going to be pinned down below. So check out my new vlog and don't forget to subscribe. And lastly, as always, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.
Yeah, I'm a 10 like 5 times 2. Whatever I say, yeah, I gotta do on who, on you, on who, on you, on. All hail the queen, QC, yeah, she is risen. Presents is a gift, so I come with the ribbon. Internet told me stop rapping, I ain't listen to them. No, I really got more bars in the prison system, right? Yeah, one beef, step into the kitchen. Murder flows, you could suspect, I am not the victim. Beat queen, D's on that bitch like we with the Pistons. Red cherry, red bottoms, I know how to pick them. Always got a secret plan, I don't do the fighting. Shorty is a secret fan, yeah, she ghost riding. Brown skin beauty with a booty, showtime. Go off on a tangent, I don't need a cosign. 12 baddies, women that are cheap about a dozen. Hot girl straight up out the microwave oven. Gotta bring a chicken man before you get the stuffing. And this beat going crazy, snapping on percussion. Chioma at the top, I'm the #1 prospect. Beat from Lakia when she slid on Cosmic. Told him come here, boo, I'm trying to make your jaw stiff. I got no pics, but I wanna see your pockets. Big glossy lips, dry them out like a faucet. Speak chickenese, so I put them in a cockpit. Cooking in the studio, call me Dirty Crockett. Gingerbread baby running fast like Sonic. It's commendable, was a ceremony, but now it's a festival. New money now, so you gotta move a decimal. Presidential suite and it's looking all congressional. I'm so delectable. Pull your queen card, cause mine is a collectible. Better mind your business and stay off my genitals. Probably make them high, cause my body's like an edible. Wait, let me stop, cause I'm trying to be professional. Damn. I know that's what y'all said when you heard that verse. Y'all was like, damn. Respectfully though, we on Victoria Island. Like it's gullah gullah, sun on my melanin. Working on my color, bubblegum pink fit. Chew you out like hubba bubba. Need my check Friday. I'm calling you a more